All right, I think we kept him waiting long enough, Wayne. What's up, my man? How we doing? It's Wednesday, the best part of Hump Day. What's up, man? How you feeling?
I'm good, man. It's time to give him a little R&B. You know what I'm saying? Look, I look forward to this time on Wednesdays, bro, because I get a chance to chop it up with my brother.
Yes.
So look, a lot of stuff going down, man. Let's hit him with it, man. Let's hit him with it. How's everybody doing out there, first and foremost? You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody on both streams. If you're on the Wayne Breezie channel, appreciate you guys for joining in. And don't forget, if you give super chat contributions, you already know what we doing. You know, Raj and I, we split him. He'll keep it a buck. As soon as the show is over, I hit him on the Venmo. So keep the joints coming in. Raj will pop them up as we go along. But Raj, man, how was your day, bro?
Man, it's a long day. I honestly, right when you were texting me, because you were like, "Yo, we ready to go?" I was like, "Yeah, yeah, hold up," because I told you I'm coming in. And by the time I got home, like I'm in traffic, I saw your Twitter message, but I couldn't respond because I'm driving. So then, as soon as I text you, I'm like, "Yeah, hold up, I'm just walking in." So the like 5 minutes before you text me, I'm just pulling up. I get in the place, so I barely walked in the door, threw on a Trey Lance jersey because we got to talk about Trey Lance, and threw on the hat. But yeah, I'm good. It's just been a busy day, man. I don't
Mm,
even know what's going on today. And honestly, you're probably gonna have to tell me what's going on. Was there any breaking news? I don't even
Hey,
know.
hey, man, today was the 49ers local pro day, right?
Oh,
They invited 36 players on out, 36 prospects, and they got a chance to test them out, man. They ran them through some drills. You get to see some of the prospects in 49ers, attire and all that type of stuff. So I thought that was pretty cool, you know. And one of them that stood out was quarterback from Fresno State, Jake Hayner. And
mm.
so, he got a chance to talk to the media and sounds pretty damn confident to me, man. I don't know. I'm listening to this kid. I'm like, yo, who is this guy? And then I realized he a grown ass man. He like 40-year-old quarterback getting drafted. So, and the funny thing is, he said that. Like, he was talking about, hey man, I love what Brock does, and Brock is cool. But I'm older than Brock, right? so, so he just seems
Oh,
very confident, man. It's gonna be interesting to see if the 49ers are going to draft this kid. He may be a day two kid, Raj, but
a day two
he
kid.
may
So,
he may be a day two kid. He may be a day two kid. But listen, I tell you what, definitely day three, and I don't mean late day three. So
mm,
when you think day three,
kind of in our wheelhouse. And
yeah,
they've
you
been,
might
I
not
mean,
make it to the seventh round, man.
local pro day, the 49ers did draft. They traditionally draft people that come to these pro days. They traditionally draft people. So this is a good sign. And maybe that's the guy they're looking at. I saw somewhere, like, I saw a notification. Someone had posted that Frank Gore was there looking at
Frank,
that scout because he's talked about how he wants to be a talent scout with the
listen,
49ers at some point. That's
Frank
interesting to
Gore,
me.
Frank Gore was out there coaching guys. You know what I'm
Woo!
saying? Out
Frank
there
Gore,
coaching.
he's
According
coming
to
to the
Splash Cousins,
Niners.
shout out to Jordan Elliott. Yeah, this is
Yeah.
gonna be crazy.
He
It's
might
gonna
be
be
a coach
crazy.
for us one day because I did remember him saying, when he signed his 1 year contract and they asked him, what is your plans? He goes, eventually, I want to get into the NFL and be a part of the 49ers front office and this and that. Maybe he'll be a scout. Maybe he'll be a coach. Who knows? Like,
Maybe
that's
may,
pretty sweet.
maybe Bobby Turner's on his way out, and
Oh,
Frank
he could
Gore is on his way in.
sneak his way in a year or two. Okay.
Hey,
Oh,
Raj, you know what I wanted to ask you, bro? I have not heard Anthony Lynn's name since he was supposedly be looking for a new job.
hmm.
Is he still with the team?
He's still with the team. Yeah, he's like
Okay.
the assistant, running back coordinator and all that.
Yeah.
He's still with the team.
Just
They never got rid of him. He's still there, but they also have Bobby Turner. So now
right.
they got like two guys in charge of, running back. So you might be right. Maybe eventually if Lynn goes out there or Bobby Turner, because he's not getting any younger, one of those guys leaves and then it opens the door for a guy like Frank Gore to come in. But yeah, Lynn is still with the team.
I like that. I
Yeah.
like it. Look, you got R&B stuff getting put into the chat. People want to set the show off right. Look, Joe, Kels,
Mm.
Maxwell, Neo, Case. Shout out to Slick 68,
Black
Jaheim,
Street.
Music, Rough Ends. Cats don't know about rough ends. I don't know if y'all know about rough ends out there on the West Coast. No more shopping sprees. No more late night creeps. That was my
Okay,
joint.
I remember. Yeah, okay,
That
okay.
was my joint.
That was
PJ
it.
Morton, Kim. I cannot get into
Black Street,
Kim.
man. To me, Black Street was That was
Legacy.
the joint. They was coming up when Blackstreet came out. I was like, okay, there we go.
Yeah.
That was nice stuff.
Blackstreet was it. I mean, both eras of Blackstreet.
Yeah,
The pre Dave Hollister and the Dave Hollister. Like they and then one after that. Like, Teddy Riley was in there, so
that was good.
it,
I
it's
mean, they just don't make them like that anymore, man. They really don't, man.
nah. I was John V. I was going through 80s R&B, 90s R&B because I was having a conversation with a musician and I was like, listen, like 90s R&B has a lot of those gospel diminished type sound chords, right? That's what you hear.
Yeah,
But as you get into the early 2000s, the R&B changes a little bit. It's a little bit more simplified. It's
it's
not as
simple.
complicated.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
It's
just a
a
dude
it's a
singing, and
loop.
then there's a lot of like, they did the auto tune. They kind of switched up when they got the auto tune out there. T Pain, shout out to T Pain, got the auto tune,
T-Pain,
and all these
T-Pain.
R&B artists like they don't. They probably don't. I mean, they probably have a decent voice, but they changed the game with that auto tune. Everybody could be an R&B singer. I could go grab an auto tune and go out there and be an R&B singer. But
That's
yeah,
a
it's way
fact.
different than what it was in the '90s. '90s, man, those dudes just laid some vocals, crazy.
They used to sing for real. And I was with one of my producer friends, and he used to tell me how they like why everything in the 90s sounded so tight. So we were sitting up
Mm.
one night, right? And we just finished a gig. I think we were on an island somewhere performing, and we finished the gig. And so like this, he's like a legend. He's a recording artist, blah blah blah. So he was sitting here telling me, and we were going through Teddy Riley stuff, right? And I'm trying to figure out like why he keep doing this. Like why was he doing this? Now for those that know music, like when you're doing this, it's a machine called the MPC,
Mm.
right? And so what Teddy Riley used to do is they would go in the studio, record the vocals, then he would sample them into the MPC
Oh
to
wow.
make them super tight. So when he's hitting that button, it's a trigger, and so that's why the harmonies were so tight. So all the groups in the
Oh, it would like
'90s,
fine
yes,
tune it.
it
It would
was it
get all
was
together.
compressed. It was like
Uh,
you taking this wide file and you're compressing it, and then it was just tight. The harmonies were tight. They were on point. They were
yeah,
tight,
you remember, like you listen to Boys to Men, and it just sounds like
tight,
there's like no like interference, or it's just like boom, like yeah, tight's a good word. Look at,
tight.
I didn't even know. Man, I learned something new every day, my boy. Like
What's
that's
that?
great. You coming to R&B show, you get some knowledge,
Hey, you're
music.
gonna get a little lesson. You're
Yeah,
gonna get a
I
little
like it.
lesson.
I like it. Mimi dropped $30. Appreciate you on the comment here. She says, "I'm excited for the season. Can we just start camp tomorrow?" I wish, man. I'm so tired
Me
of all
too.
the smoke, the rumors. We've seen all the rumors. I'm sure you talked about it on your shows all week. But I'm ready for this training camp, man. Like the last time we talked, Wayne, Trey Lance wasn't training with Patrick Mahomes yet. He did it the day after Thursday, because we
That's a
talked
good
last.
point.
And then boom, all of a sudden the next day we get all this content, like a lot of content. Trey, Patrick Mahomes, and then today he's grind. Like I get it, that's what these guys do. That's what NFL players do. They're working out. Like that's they're supposed to be doing that. That's he's doing his job. But people forget he's coming off a fractured angle, fractured ankle that let him out the whole season. He is putting in so much work. If you've seen his activities he's been doing, training, not just the throwing, but his exercises, he's pulling weights. He's going through like different angles. He's running. He's just hopping on one leg. The guy is putting in work because he wants to go out there and win this competition. I asked this question last night on my channel. I'm gonna ask you: can Trey Lance take this quarterback one job away from Brock Purdy? Can he steal it? Can he? Can he? I know we all think. I mean, obviously John Lynch, Kyle Shanahan, they said, look, this is his job. He's the leader of the clubhouse. But can Trey Lance steal that show?
I mean, look, he's gonna get the opportunity,
Mm,
and this is what I like about what Trey Lance is actually doing, right? And so as we continue to talk, as the hate continues to build, as the doubters and the naysayers and all that stuff continue to pump out the information, as the national media continue not to even mention his name when they talk about quarterbacks for the 49ers, Trey Lance is out there looking for ways to improve his stock. And so he does that by going and getting with the best quarterback that's in the league right now. If Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league, this is not a shot at Brian Greasy, but whoever Patrick Mahomes' quarterback coach is probably the best quarterback coach in the league. And so now Trey's working with him. And so now Trey is looking for ways to say, F you developing
mhm.
me. I'm going to do it myself. Like I'm going to go out there and develop because I'm not going to sit around on my patootie and just wait. I'm gonna go out there and get it, and that's what I like. He's a go getter, and Trey Lance is go getting. And so, what we're gonna get from Trey Lance, we don't know still, right? It's still unknown. But what we're seeing is the kid putting in work. So y'all gonna have to start putting some respect on this kid name. I know he got to go out there and win you 8 games in a row. I get it. That's the parameter, right? He's got a
You got
minimum
to win.
win 8 in a row, right? Even 8 regular season games in a row. You know what I'm saying? And then win you some playoff games. But to answer your question, he absolutely can because Brock can't play right now. Well,
Yeah.
Brock can't practice right now.
Yeah.
And I don't even think it's a quarterback competition, bro. I think it's Trey
Mm-hmm.
Lance's job. I think Kyle Shanahan's throwing a lot of smoke out there, and I think Trey
Mm-hmm.
Lance just got to go out there and do it. Remember, Trey Lance is coming off of an injury.
Mm-hmm.
Hence, this is why you bring in Sam Darnold
Yeah.
because
He-
this is crazy. It's gonna
Yeah.
be crazy.
And that's a great point. I like agreeing with you, but I also like to disagree sometimes.
I love the
So
discourse, bro.
so
That's what we're here
here's the
for.
thing. Here's the thing. So I think Trey's putting in absolute tremendous work. Like I was so amazed to see him training with Patrick Mahomes. Like I want to know who reached out to who. Like I can't wait till the press conferences come up in a couple months where I know somebody's gonna ask like, oh, who reached out to who? With Patrick Mahomes, Trey. Like, I want to know that story. Like I can't wait to hear the deep dive on that story. Whatever, and that's great, and it's good for Trey. He's out there working as he should, but you could tell he's motivated because he knows he needs to go out there and show off in training camp and beat Sam Darnold. That's his first step. We talked about this. The first
That's phase
step
one.
in doing it,
Yeah,
phase one is
that's
beating
phase
Sam.
one.
And then phase two, like you said, he has to go out there and win games and make them look at when they look at him, they're like, oh wow, we don't need to put Brock Purdy in now that he's injured. Because I think someone in the chat, amateur draft scout, said, if Purdy was able to steal Trey Lance's job when he was injured, Trey Lance can definitely steal Brock Purdy's if he's injured. But he has
It's
to go out there
reciprocal. Yeah,
without a shadow of a doubt, leave no crumbs, and be like, oh, look at Trey, and he's got
yeah.
to win games, and we get all that. But and I know you say this is not a competition. Right now, this is Trey. He's in the lead now. He kind of took ahead.
I don't see
Took
no
a little.
Sam Darnold videos.
Yeah,
I don't
I
see
want
no Sam Darnold training with Patrick
but maybe
Mahomes.
Sam Darnold's training with Josh Allen. I'm not even worried about Sam Darnold. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I'm not worried about it. Like I'm glad we got him. I'm sure he's gonna come in with a bag of Doritos on his shoulder. Cool, whatever. Trey's gonna beat him. I got no doubt on him. But wait till Brock Purdy comes back in a couple of months and we see his
Now we
training
talking
videos.
competition, bro.
Now we talk. It's still a competition because okay, this is nice. We got these Trey Lance videos. It's filler for the off season because we ain't got nothing to post about, so we're gonna post all this stuff. But when Brock Purdy comes out, Mr. Robo Arm himself comes out and he starts slinging, and we're gonna be like, oh, okay, we forget. I saw you post that what Pro Football Focus posted earlier, right before I came in. I saw that post. Brock Purdy led the NFL of all rookies in
The
touchdowns
touchdown
as a
passes.
quarterback. He played 6 games in the regular season, 8 games total. He still was pretty damn good last year. So let's
He only started in 5 of those 6
yeah,
too.
it's crazy. So he still came in and put up those numbers. But then the other question, the other you know topic you got to bring up when you talk about Brock Purdy and Trey Lance is CMC. He came in and he changed the offense. Trey Lance never even played with CMC, so
That's the
that changed
context, right?
everything. That changed everything. But it is a competition because in 2 months, when we see the Brock Purdy throwing videos, we about to be just as hyped. So we
Listen,
about to be
I watched Jake Hainers throw videos today, and I'm like, oh, this kid got some zip on the ball, like, and they were darts, right?
yeah.
I'm just getting excited because it's football. But listen, you're right, man. There's always I like when we disagree. I like when we have our own points, but I like when we agree as well at the same
Uh-huh.
time. But listen, as of right now, it's Trey's team. Now,
Mhm.
Trey has to lose this job. If he doesn't perform well, they're going to hand the thing right back to Brock. And then Brock has to prove that he can continue to keep up. They're not going to give him no, oh man, I know you coming back from injury and no, hell no. He better come in guns blazing
Mhm.
because at the end of the day, that's where that competition lies. But for right now, Trey just needs to keep putting in that work, man. Whatever
Yeah.
he's doing. And shout out to all the players out there that are putting in that work. Debo, Jason Poe, like
Yeah.
all these players are out
Ayuk.
there. Brandon Ayuk, like all these players are out there. I never saw Brandon Ayuk train before.
Yeah.
And it's really cool. I know a lot of people don't like the workout videos we post from the athletes to
Yeah.
that, whatever. But here's what I do like about him because I work out myself. So it's really cool to see if I'm doing some of the things that our professional athletes are doing, and if I'm doing them properly and how they're being trained. So it's an affirmation for me, but it's really cool to see these players, get their bodies right because conditioning is coming soon, and woo, I can't wait. The football starts. I'm with you, Mimi B. I can't wait.
I know, same here, Mimi. Like I like the workout videos. I know sometimes it gets repetitive because it's like, okay, they're supposed to be working out, but some of the stuff these guys do, like Christian McCaffrey's workout video, like I'm still like, how did he do
That
have that?
that's some Iron Man challenge stuff right there, bro.
It's crazy, and you see exactly how much work they put in to get in the season. I'm sure everybody's working out if you're an NFL player, but the amount of work and dedication they have to go in to a season, I truly appreciate it. But going back, Debo Samuel, man, this guy, I love how hard Debo is working because he's reminding people like, yo, last year I couldn't even train because I was in the middle of a contract situation. This year
Bro,
he is making sure everybody sees his content, everybody knows he's training, and he's out there working his tail off because Debo is coming back this year and he's going to have a monster year, man. I'm telling you because people forgot about Debo. They said he fell off. Like, that motivates him. He sees this is the Debo. He knows what's being said on social media. He's going to use it as motivation, just like Trey Lance is probably using all this hate for motivation, and he's gonna throw it back on people. I already know, like in a couple months, when Debo has this like crazy game, he's gonna tweet out something like, "Y'all thought I was washed, or y'all thought I was fat." I can't.
I'm gonna
I
be
already know
right
he's gonna
there
say
with the
something.
popcorn, Raj.
Yeah, he's gonna say something like, "Oh, y'all thought I was chunky. Look at me now." Like something. He's gonna say something, and we're all gonna be like, "Oh shit."
I'm gonna be right there with the popcorn. Listen, Debo is being like highly disrespected uh by, just the as being a wide receiver in my opinion, right?
Yeah.
You're looking at these lists out there. He didn't have a good season last year, and people feel like Debo is just falling off and this is the end of Debo. And I'm like, I mean, he was predominantly injured last season. He played injured, and unfortunately, like he just wasn't I felt like when it came to Debo, they overutilized him, and the teams knew what if he was on the field, he was getting the ball out of the backfield, and they were ready for it. And so Kyle made that trade for CMC, and it kind of changed it up a little bit. But Debo out on the field was still a playmaker, and
Yeah.
so like he might not be that one of those top tier wide receivers in the league, but they forgot about Debo. And I think next season he's gonna make them remember. I mean, just the year before Debo was all pro
Yeah.
and y'all were comparing him. But you know what? They also left off Cooper Cup. So that made me feel like, okay, it's because it's all about who they see at the moment right now. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, 100%. It's what can you do for me late now? What have you done for me lately? And
Yeah.
yeah, he didn't have the best season. He did have some injuries, and he did. Man, not gonna lie, we all know he didn't come into camp in the best shape of his career. But at the end of the day, I get it. It was a long contract situation, and when you're worried about making sure you get paid, you can't risk an injury. So you got to cut down on the training. And I remember, like, as soon as he signed, I remember, like, that week, all of a sudden, I see, like, boom, like 5 training videos. Like, where was all this during the last couple months? But now
Bro, he was trying to get that contract, bro.
he had to do what he had to do to
Yeah.
shed that train, the off season where he wasn't, training as much. But now he's just back to himself, and he's swole up, and I'm not worried about Debo and Ayuk. He's got competition on the team with Brandon Ayuk coming for blood contract situation for Ayuk. He knows he needs to get paid. So Debo, not only is he worried about everybody else coming for his neck and criticizing him, he's got a player on his team, Brandon Ayuk, who you said it's cool to see him trading. This guy, you could just see how hard he wants to be a top receiver in this league, all pro, whatever. It's gonna be fun, man. These guys are working their heads off, man. So, and that's just the mindset of this team. Then you got George Kittle on his own personal field doing his
This
thing.
dude built. Wait, I gotta ask you a question, Raj.
Yeah,
Hit up Kiddo and ask him, hey, yo, Kiddo, because I don't want him to unfollow me again. So I don't want
yeah,
to
yeah.
do it.
Oh, he
Is
followed you
that,
back?
yeah, he
Yeah,
followed. Is that turf in
it's
his
turf.
backyard?
It is turf. Yeah, I
It,
know.
it, it so I thought we were against turf.
We are. So this is the thing, though. For his nice field, for his design. I mean, obviously it's a little cheaper, but I mean, he can take care of it. He can maintain it. He can sit there and put in the work to make sure it's all nice,
Okay.
level. But his
Okay.
problem is when you go to other field professional teams and they're not maintaining it, and you
Okay.
have different turfs. Like some fields use different turf because they're trying to save a buck or two, and you have really bad turf. I think that's where his issue was. Obviously, everybody would love to play on grass. But I also think that, okay, if the league is going to be playing on turf, I think he's trying to syndicate turf fields because he knows he's going to be playing on turf. So it training for what he's going to be playing like in the NFL. But the way I look at it is when he was talking about that, it's like specifically the Jets, like their stadium, that
Trash.
just trash. I remember all the players that got hurt there. So yeah, turf sucks, but if you're playing on like good turf, I guess it's not as bad. But yeah, I think in an ideal world, we'd all want him to play on grass. But yeah, his field is turf.
And they're finally like fixing up that Jets field, if I'm not mistaken. So that's pretty
Well,
cool.
I hope so because there's been a
We
lot of
don't
play.
play there for a while, so
Yeah, 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 man, it's tough to see those injuries. I hope we stay healthy this year because man, we've had some gnarly ones over the last couple of years.
yeah, man. I'm not even thinking about that because at this moment though, I'm just super fascinated about you know what I'm seeing from the players, the little things that they're leaking out. You know what I'm saying? I'm really excited about that. And I'm just getting extra excited about Trey Lance because I just really feel like he's older now, he's more
Mm.
mature now, and he's gonna processing, going out there doing stuff. I know we're still critiquing him, we're critiquing his mechanics, they're a little off, things like that. I mean, I don't care about mechanics being off if he's making and completing passes and stuff like that. Like let Trey Lance go out there and just be himself and play football. I think that's what we need to see if he wins this quarterback one job.
Yeah, he's got to learn from his mistakes. I mean, that's the only way to learn and get better is go out there and throw the reps out there and get better from trying. You're not going to get better from not trying. So yeah, I don't care if he messes up now because that's what practice and training's all about is when you can mess up. Plus, when the real deal, when the bullets fly, that's when you shouldn't be. You got to be on your P's and Q's. So hopefully, all this training helps him out. I mean, there's been many quarterbacks in this league. I'm not saying that he is these guys like Josh Allen and stuff. They're criticized for many years, and they got to a certain point and it just clicked. So sometimes it might just click, and maybe something just motivates you, and learning from different people. And again, going back to the whole Patrick Mahomes thing, maybe he's picking his ear and picking his brain and saying, look, how can I get myself better in this situation, in this situation? Because even Patrick Mahomes, he wasn't even reading the defense his first year as a rookie. So
Correct.
him some time. So I think he'll figure it out. Again, I think he's really motivated. And the biggest thing, and one thing I've said over the last couple of weeks is I just want to make sure Trey gets a fair chance. And I think you've said this as well. We want to make sure if you're going to put him in a competition, you owe it to him and you owe it to yourself to really see and really gauge him by giving him the same playing field as everybody else. Okay, let's say you gave Brock Purdy this specific playbook. Give Trey Lance that same playbook. And if he can handle it, he can handle it. If he can't, tells you everything you need to know. If Sam Darnold's going to go out there and get reps with him and with the ones, and Trey Lance, you give him an even playing field. They throw the same plays, the same passes. You need to see him have the same defensive looks. Give him a fair shake. You can't throw a different playbook to him and expect him to, have a different grading system. It needs to be fair, and that's it. And again, if he goes out there and gets his chance and he sucks, then it is what it is. But at least you gave him that fair chance.
I agree with you. Hey, my man Andrew, I see that you ordered a hat from Residency. They sent you a wrong one. Listen, send them an email. You can at me in it as well. Could put Breezy in there. You use my promo code, and they sent you the wrong hat, and just let them know that, and then we'll take it from there. All right. So just keep me posted on what's going on with your communication. We'll get you that. We'll try to get you that right hat, bro. All right.
Yeah, yeah, they're good, man. If you just reach out to them, they'll fix their
Yeah, they're pretty real. They're really good.
cool. I talk to all the guys. They're good dudes. So they just want to make sure they selling a good product. And if they
Yeah, the
mess
people
up,
are satisfied. Yeah, I agree with
yeah.
you, Raj.
Look at
All right,
this
what
comment.
Mr. Draft Scout saying? What he saying?
He says, "Oh man," and I didn't even want to bring this up, but we gotta talk about it because he gets a lot of hate, bro. Not just on him and his abilities to throw the football. People, you saw it. Let me read the comments. So, Amateur Draft Scout says Lance posts his workout video. People bash his hairline, including the fan base. Lance is going to become a villain once he leaves. If he leaves, bro, he will become. This is his villain story, like his villain story. You got NFL meme page. They posted a carousel. I mean, it was the most
Damn.
despicable meme carousel I've seen in a long time. It's about his receding hairline, and it's just like, come on, man, y'all ripping this man apart over his hair. Let them. I
He
I,
should.
I don't know how Trey deals with it. He's got to have some thick ass skin, but then he puts the beanie on indoors in Texas. I know he's sweating.
And
I
he
know.
was sweating. Trey needs to just go by. Somebody needs to endorse Trey Lance with a bunch of headbands. Now it makes sense why he was wearing these headbands for so long, and I think him even wearing the headbands helped receded his hairline a little bit. But listen, I think when you become a man at a certain point, it's you got to get to the point to where you just say it's time to let it go. He's not there yet because Trey Lance is still a young kid, right? And so he just hasn't reached that line to where he says it's time to let it go. I don't have that problem, so I can't even relate to what he's going through at this point. Just wear a band, wear a band around your head and call it a day.
It's stressful, man. I can't imagine being 22 and dealing with like that kind of hair stuff because that stuff is that's embarrassing and it's mentally draining. And he's already got a lot of other mental issues that he's no straight up, man. Like it sucks, dude, that he has to deal with. The man's wearing. This man said, "I'm gonna wear a beanie." This man put on a beanie
In Texas.
in Texas, bro. You know how hot it is out there. That's not even cool, man. Let the man do his thing, but shout out to his barber. His barber's got to come right with it and be like, maybe just say like, look, we got to try something else. But I feel bad
If
for him because
I was his barber, Raj, I would say that. But maybe his barbers
uh,
don't want to mess up their money. See,
uh,
I don't care about the money. I care about the relationship. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
I,
if
I
I was,
I get it, but man, they're already calling him a bust because he can't play any games,
so
and
now
now
they
they're
calling
throwing
him bust
salt
with
in
no
his hair,
hairline.
bro.
It's tough. It's got to be tough being Trey. But hey, man, it comes with the territory. He allowed that picture. He didn't ask the person to take the picture. No, that's not what I'm trying to say. He didn't expect that there was going to be one person that was going to make mention of the receding hairline. I don't think he
Mm,
was expecting that.
Bro, as soon as I saw, I think Akash posted that picture, and I mean, it just all I saw was I was like, dog, that's messed up, man. I'm glad I didn't post that
I
picture.
saw it, but Raj, it didn't. I didn't. That's not my mo. I
No, but I
didn't.
seen other people over like like I seen similar posts like that a couple months ago, but now because he's so much in the limelight, it's magnified because he's a trending topic. So it's like, oh god, man. But yeah, it is what it is. I feel bad for him, and there's been a lot of media rumors. So shifting gears, we've heard every media person you could think of has talked about him maybe being traded. What's your take on this? I've said my thoughts on this of Trey Lance. Do you think that he's going to get traded? They have, like you said, Jake Hayner. They looked at him today at the pro day. They had a private workout with Dorian Thompson Robinson from UCLA, quarterback, a very athletic, dynamic quarterback. Does that kind of signal to you that they're going to maybe trade Trey Lance, or
No.
you think he's sticking around? What's your thought? You think they trade him?
No, I don't think they trade Trey Lance. It doesn't work for them financially. It doesn't even make sense to trade him. You're asking to bring in another young quarterback that you're hoping you hit on. Remember, these draft picks aren't necessarily going to be home runs, right? Brock Purdy was something different. Like they had a fifth round grade on him. That's the story. He was still available in the seventh round. Nobody drafted him. They went with it, and then you saw Brock play. He had something enough to keep him over Nate Sudfeld, but he didn't look good when he first came in to some of these games in the preseason. He didn't look good at all. He looked jittery. He looked, whatever. But he was able to settle down, and on the biggest game of his life, he came in and looked fine. So none of that stuff before even mattered. I don't know if that works for everybody. Like everybody exudes confidence a little bit differently, and Brock is just a confident young gentleman, and that knows how to handle his bi. When it comes to Trey Lance, I feel like he can handle his BI as well. And so it doesn't make sense for the 49ers to move on from a kid that has all this potential. I mean, A, they traded too much to get this kid. They gave up way too much capital. Why would you walk away from that not getting a good enough return? That's A. B, the kid's potential is still through the roof. He still forces defenses to have to play honest football. He just has to be out there to play football because he needs the reps. Defenses are going to cheat until they realize he's going to throw the ball and stretch the field. Kyle needs to allow this kid first play of every game. Well, at least the first game, just throw the ball down the field.
Yeah.
Figure it out. Stretch this defense out. only a few things can happen. It could be incomplete, it could be intercepted or whatever, but at least it's like a punt because he can get the ball down the field. So at the end of the day, it's just like you gotta let this kid play football, man. And I don't think Kyle's ready to move on. I don't think even John Lynch is ready to move on from something that they know that has this potential. They just need to see the kid play, and that's why we said this at the beginning of the show, Raj. He just has to go out there and do it. Just prove it. Just prove to everybody that they're wrong. Because I don't think Kyle is doubting him. I just think what they got from Brock is what they're going to go with. But now Brock is hurt. And so since Brock is hurt, Trey, show me what you got, little mama. Show me what you got, Purdy
I mean, what
baby.
you
Like,
got, little mom?
yes,
Yeah,
hands up and wave. You know what I mean? So I don't think they move on from Trey. Now, if a team offers the 49ers a first round pick, maybe a conditional third round pick and some stuff like that, that's different. But no team is that stupid.
yeah, 100%. So I think it'd be a mistake if they were to trade Trey Lance because we still haven't really seen what he can do. Honestly, at the end of the day, like
Doesn't
you
make
said,
sense.
he needs the reps. We haven't really seen what he can do. And last year, all the quarterbacks got hurt. Not just last year, many years. We've seen quarterback injuries. With the Mullins and Beathard and Trey Lance and Jimmy Garoppolo. All the years. So if Brock Purdy comes back, there's no guarantee that he's going to be Brock Purdy from what we saw last year. The 13 touchdowns, the guy that shocked the world and everything. Like, we still don't know if he's going to be that guy. If he is, great, amazing. I can't wait for the story to continue, and I'd be hyped up. But we don't know. And if he gets hurt or if he has a setback or whatever, you still need to have a guy that can come in with high potential and that could kind of take this team and take it to new heights. And that's what you had. You had the hope when you drafted him of being that guy. We still haven't seen it. Obviously, the injuries take a toll, but I feel like it'd be a mistake trading him because then you'd have, okay, Brock Purdy, and if he's not ready to go or whatever the case is, you got Sam Darnold. And no disrespect to Sam Darnold, but I mean, I would feel a little bit more confident with Trey Lance because he has the potential. Sam Darnold has been in this league for several years. He was a number 3 pick. He hasn't really been the greatest in the world. Obviously, he hasn't been in good positions and good situations. But I mean, I'd feel a little bit safer with this quarterback room if they were to keep Trey Lance, and you have your options. You have a great quarterback room. I feel like with Kyle Shanahan, John Lynch, it's not necessarily the one quarterback. Like, a lot of people are saying they haven't been able to find their quarterback. They haven't been able to find that franchise quarterback. But I feel like they've kind of looked past that, and their goal is to make sure they have a good quarterback room because they know injuries happen. And as long as you have guys that can come in and operate the system and execute and get them wins, then they're okay with that. So yeah, I think going back to DTR and maybe Hainer, I think they will draft a quarterback. They have 11 draft picks. If they end up taking all 11 picks, you're bound to get a quarterback. You're bound to get a position that you may not need. Develop them, sit them on the practice squad or whatever the case is. And then again, if there's an injury, they can always call up a guy just in case. So I feel like the 49ers are always that team that's looking ahead, looking for the future. You never know what's going to happen. Injuries, contract, maybe you can't sign everybody. So it makes sense to go and get a quarterback to develop. So, and I think DTR is that type of guy. He's not a guy that's going to come in, start day one, but he's a guy that you could come in, develop, let him get some preseason reps, and then you put him on the practice squad. He can learn the offense. And then maybe in 2-3 years, he can play for you. But I think it's about making the quarterback room as good as it can be.
I agree, and that's what Kyle Shanahan is looking to do. Right, that's what he's looking to do. He said he's going to go into camp with 3 quarterbacks. We have 2 going into camp, and so remember, Brock Purdy's not eligible to practice as of right now, so he won't be able to enter training camp as one of those quarterbacks. And so like I'm curious to see too what Kyle Shanahan does. Does he draft a kid? And again, if one of these guys, I mean, there's probably several. I mean, there was another kid that they worked out today as well. Who knows? It just seems like Kyle's gonna draft a guy, and Kyle's gonna hope that the kid is eligible to make that practice squad type of thing. Because usually when you draft the quarterback, and if you let the quarterback go, other teams are going to be like they might try to jump up at the bite because they want to know why you drafted that kid, and they'll bring that kid in. That's probably one of the reasons why they didn't want to let Brock Purdy go. It wasn't just because of what Brock Purdy showed them. It was just like, damn, like we don't want to let him go because he's going to get signed by another team. And oh my gosh, how would that have ended our season? But I think now they can do that, right? They could do that now. They wouldn't
Yeah,
have a problem doing that.
I agree. There's a comment. Hayes says because the Niner quarterback position job security is non-existent. Yeah, if you're a third string quarterback on this team, you might get a chance to start at some point. So you're right.
Just the way
You're
things flow.
absolutely right there. So, and you're right. You never know. And again, I feel like this 49er team, the way they've kind of drafted and set their team up is you always have guys that down the line could help you out. And you're absolutely right. If Brock Purdy wasn't saved and kept on this roster, he could have got claimed. And who knows, we may have not made it as far as we did with him because, again, he was that savior. But then again, going back to this year, can he repeat it? Even if he wasn't injured, I would have asked that question. Even if he would have stayed healthy and whatever else transpired, and if the season ended a different way with him healthy, would he have been able to repeat that magical run? Was it just, I don't know, was it just like this moment of everything kind of coming together? He had nothing to fear. He had no, I mean, I wouldn't say no pressure, but he really had no expectations. He came in, he was a third quarterback. Nobody expected him to do anything. And it was like, oh my God, this guy came out of nowhere, the last pick in the draft. It was a great story. But even if he was healthy, would he be able to? I would still ask that question. Can he repeat it? I don't know. It's tough to say because I love what Brock did, but I still have my doubts of can he do it again? Is he still that guy? I don't know. It was an amazing run, man, but I still have my questions.
And I think your questions are valid, right? Because now he's going into people are going to have design game plans for him. They've seen enough film on him. They know he's magical. Does he have that it factor like a Patrick Mahomes? Not comparing him to Patrick, but does he have like that it factor to where he can magically win you some type of games? And so they're gonna throw the kitchen sink at him. They're gonna play football. They're gonna test his wit. They're gonna test his IQ now out there on the football field. It's not gonna just be him coming out. Kyle's gonna have to give him more of a workload, and can he handle it? Now I believe that he will be able to handle it when he comes back. But again, it's unknown because we haven't seen Brock year one as the full starter of the quarterback of the San Francisco 49ers. We haven't seen him as a full starter till he's getting that full workload. Things are a little bit different. Teams prepare for you a little bit differently. So I get where you're coming from. Like your thoughts are super valid, your concerns are valid, but again, at this moment he's just not healthy to go out there and contest against anything. And so until he heals and he gets that opportunity, guess what? Even when he heals, he'll be coming in half of the season, second half of the season. So he still won't have that full load that he has to work. He has to just come back out and be efficient and help the team win games. But I'm banking on whoever starts the season will finish the season. I'm gonna leave it at that.
I like that. That's a good prediction. I don't know, man. I can't make that prediction. I don't know if that's true. I really don't. And this is a good question from Clars. He says Purdy's the same mirror image Jimmy was because he came in 5 games. It was like this magical run. And then but the thing with Jimmy is he tore his ACL. And those first few games when, before he tore his ACL, he wasn't looking like that 2017. And maybe Brock Purdy is, going to regress. I don't know, but he's got a lot to kind of recover from because he's got the injury. So he's still going to have to grind back from the injury and just prove that he can come in and be healthy enough to throw the ball. Then he's got to prove himself and show that he's still that same guy. So he's got a lot to work against. Trey has a lot. The deck is stacked against him, but the deck's not entirely not against Brock Purdy. They both have a lot because that's a UCL tear is a horrible injury, for a quarterback, just like an ankle fracture is a tough injury to deal with. So they both had really big injuries. They both have a deck stacked against them. And I love, again, what Brock Purdy had to do. But let's not just sit here and say he doesn't have a lot to prove himself because he does. Just like Trey Lance, he's got a lot to prove. But so does Brock Purdy. And that's why I said, going back to earlier, like, it is a competition because, okay, let's say Trey Lance comes in, he wins these games, and then they're going to tell you that Brock Purdy comes in. If he gets inserted into this lineup and they pull Trey and he was doing good, Brock now has to exceed what Trey was putting out there. And he has to look pretty damn good, win games, go out there, be efficient, and not make mistakes. So at the end of the day, both of them have to look better than the other guy in
Yeah.
comparison. So they got a competition at some point this season. At some point, one of them has to show that they're absolutely better than the other guy. It's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting. I feel like if Trey Lance starts and then they pull him, even though he was doing good, it's going to be so controversial because then Brock Purdy will have a pressure to say, look, that he has to go out there and just be, without a shadow of a doubt, even better than whatever Trey Lance put out there or Sam Darnold.
I agree 100%. It's definitely going to be a competition. Kyle already said it was going to be a competition. But again, I like what I'm seeing from Trey Lance. I can't wait to see Brock Purdy get out there and make some throws as well. I actually even want to see some Sam Darnold damn throws. I want to see what he can do. You
Yeah.
know, we haven't we talk about Sam Darnold. I say that he's the contingency plan. Some
Mhm.
people say that he's the insurance plan. I just feel like he's there if all shit hits the fan.
Yeah.
And so, like, if he's there, then the 49ers feel like they have a quarterback that they're confident in, opposed to having a guy like a Josh Johnson who's been in the league for several years, but just never really had any real NFL experience. And you saw it. Like, I know it was the biggest game of his life, but damn, you can't be out there jittery, my man. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so that's what they got. You're not going to get that, even though Sam Darnold saw a ghost at one point in his life. I just feel like he's the contingency plan. So if all stuff hits the fan for the 49ers, they got that fallback guy.
Oh,
And
man.
that's who Sam Darnold is. But dude, I'd take Trey Lance over Sam Darnold any day for one particular, reason only. Trey Lance knows the system. Sam Darnold doesn't know the system. He has to learn it.
He's got to come.
Nobody's talking about that.
That's the thing is, okay, yeah, Sam Darnold might have been in the league for a couple of years, and yeah, he might have more experience than Trey Lance. And he's never played on Kyle Shanahan's system, so he's got to learn. He's got to get up to speed. He's probably working and looking at the film and studying this playbook, and then he's got to come in and prove that he's better than Trey Lance in this system, who's been on this team for the last couple of years. So it's going to be a fun competition between those guys. And then, like I said, when Brock Purdy finally enters the picture and he ramps up his throwing, it's gonna get fun, man. This offseason training camp, it's gonna be a vibe, man.
I agree.
It's gonna be crazy.
I agree.
Poof! I'm getting hyped just thinking about it. Going back to Mimi's comment, can we just have camp now?
Well, I'm excited about the draft, which is first.
Yeah.
And then after the draft, I think it's rookie mini camp, right? Because then the rookies come in. Oh man, you're gonna be out there. You're gonna have a blast.
It's gonna be fun, man. Rookie
I
mini
think
camp, OTAs.
and then OTAs, right? Right. That's gonna be a blast. That's gonna be a blast. And then
That's
train. Then they get a break off. They get like 2 weeks off.
Yeah.
Then it's training camp, and that's when
everything,
the big
all the
dogs.
competition. That's when the pads come on and they start just throwing shit to the fan, man. That's when it gets nearly.
Everybody's gonna be
crazy.
wearing those Mario helmets, them big old
Yeah,
ass helmets.
those what do they call them? The gladiator. Yeah,
I don't know. But remember back in the day when we watched football and our offensive linemen used to wear like that hat, extra helmet that looked like a hat.
yeah.
And it's kind of like what those are. I just don't think they're gonna play NFL games in them, but they're gonna practice with them.
I
So
mean, you got to make sure you don't have any concussions. But those hats are silly looking. But
they're silly.
that's
Speaking of
that's
silly
protecting
looking,
them.
I damn it, is this about George Kittle? Is his helmet ugly looking? Him and Nick Bosa got ugly ass looking helmets.
Everybody says that. I think they're pretty cool. I mean, it's
No,
different.
they're just extra long.
It's just
Pause.
long. Yeah, pause. But it's protection. At the end of the day, you got to protect your neck, man. Protect your neck.
There's the
That's it.
Wu-Tang reference,
That's
which
it.
I know you ain't watching none of them episodes, bro. I told you go watch them joints.
I've been watching it slowly. I'm my own.
Okay.
I'm like on episode 5 on season 1. It's a slow grind.
Yeah.
But
I
that
think it
show,
was Derek Deese that used to wear those. It could have been
Derek D
Steve
had the
Wallace too.
double helmet. Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember that.
But
Yeah.
look, I feel like those helmets, I feel like George Kittle helmet and Nick Bosa helmets, they're just aerodynamically ugly.
They get dragged. Yeah, people are like, change your fucking helmet. I mean, I don't know. I don't think they're ugly, but I
Do
can
you
see why.
guys like their helmets, man? Let's see how many
Let's
thumbs
see.
up if we like the George Kittle. I wish I had a picture right now to show you guys.
Let me see.
If you like the George Kittle and the Nick Bosa, I mean, if you look at them, they look like alien helmets. Like, cause
Yeah, it's a weird helmet.
if y'all know the story of the alien and why the alien is made and shaped the way that is, then y'all understand where I'm coming from. I'm not gonna go about that. This is the R&B show. This is not the that show. But I just some people don't have a problem with it. Some people like it.
It's like a hammerhead shark. I don't know if you can see it, but
That look ugly as that look weird, bro. That ain't no football helmet. That's plastic.
Alex Mack used to wear like that. It was like a shark, literally a shark.
I know. Chrissy says, "Who cares as long as it protects them." I know, but they just There's other players that wear helmets and they're fine.
This
They
was
got
the old
swag.
helmet. This was his old original helmet.
That's a football helmet.
That's
I don't know what the fuck that other thing is, bro.
And then the other one, let me show you. It's like
we got
it
mad
looks like
thumbs
a
down.
Power Ranger. Okay, it kind of low key looks like a Power Ranger, like helmet.
I'm about to get unfollowed again. I don't care. The helmet is oogly, but if it does protect them, I'm with you. You said they got to protect their neck. It just makes me think George Kittle head is shaped weird when I see those helmets.
I like those helmets, man.
Pause. I
It's
can't. I
different.
know.
It's differently
It's
different.
different. It's different. It's definitely different. Looks like a Honda Civic spoiler. Oh man! I listen. That's funny. That's
That's
funny.
funny, John.
I've been wanting to ask you that for like the longest time, bro. Because I thought my eyes were deceiving me when I'm looking at them. I'm like, I think that's Kittle, but now I know who Kittle is because Kittle wears a weird ass helmet.
He wears
It,
that.
yeah.
I
Go
mean,
ahead.
they don't look normal. They don't look. I mean, but to me, I'm like, if it's protecting them, it's cool.
But
But
all
yeah,
the
I
other
know
players are wearing the normal helmets, and it's
people
protecting
hate
them.
them, bro. People hate these helmets. I know it because they get dragged every time there's like a picture posted. People like tell Bosa to change his
All
mind.
right. So what's worse, Raj? Them ugly ass helmets or Trey Lance's receding hairline?
Come on, man. Oh my god.
Raj is gonna kick me off the R&B show. I can feel it.
Oh man, I'm gonna go with that hairline. You got to change that up, young buck. God, dog, man, because you
But
so that was ruthless, Wayne. I can't believe you just asked. That's bad. But I mean,
I
if
think I'm going with the helmets. I think
you
the
think
helmets look worse. I'm sorry. I could deal with the receding hairline. That shit didn't even bother me. I'm
wow,
keeping it a buck. I didn't even pay it any attention until some asshole pointed it out. I really didn't. I
wow.
promise you. I wasn't paying it any attention.
No, man. I feel the reason I say the hair because it's just out of line, man. People, that's all people are talking about now. And now, like I said, he has to wear the beanie indoor, like the helmet's whatever. It's there to help protect the neck, right? Like I said, protect yourself from concussions. At this
Is
point,
that what that helmet does?
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure.
I don't know. I don't know. I think it makes them. I think the helmet is more aerodynamic for them to move faster.
Oh man, I gotta look this up.
Plus the protection. I mean, it does. It is there to protect them.
I'm
You know what I'm
thinking
saying?
it's there to
But if you look
protect
at it,
because
it's got some aerodynamic stuff going in.
I feel like it's got like extra padding and
They, well, then if that's the case, then why is it the helmet a standard helmet?
maybe they're but yeah. So inside the helmet, there's like special like components. So I think it has to be bigger to fit these special components.
Okay. Maybe it's a bunch of
So
extra microphones or something
could
for them
be,
to talk.
could
I'm
be.
just messing, guys. We just
Has,
having fun.
has like an extra padding or something. It looks like on the picture. So
Yeah.
that extra layer has to kind of push
I'll
the helmet out a little bit.
I'll take Kittles and Bosa's helmets over them 8-bit looking helmet things that they wear in practice any day though.
Mm.
You know, them extra hats that they wear in practice, them things that look like
Oh yeah,
army fatigue things.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I'll take those helmets
Those are
any day.
those are crazy.
I
Yeah,
wasn't trying to be foul. It was just a question,
I
y'all.
was
Damn.
dirty, Wayne. That was bro,
That
bro.
is not. Listen, I don't. First of all, I don't see anything wrong with Trey Lance's hairline. And for y'all to say that
I
that's foul, that means y'all see something wrong with it. Bam.
oh,
See?
I don't think there's.
See?
I feel bad because people are dragging him, man. Like so, he does
I
need to
don't
do.
think he should be dragged. We just sat here and talked about it. I think that's dead wrong.
I
You
know.
weak or you strong. You got it
Do I,
going on.
somebody in the comments earlier said he should braid it.
Right. Come on, man. See, like, see what I'm saying? Did I come out my mouth and say anything like that? No. I didn't even say he should cut it. But there are a lot of people out there that feel like he should just go ahead and let it go. You
I
gotta let it go. And
honestly,
it's Usher
maybe he
voice.
might, man, because he's just gonna keep getting dragged from it.
Well, there was like this one picture, bro, and somebody put like people dancing.
Oh my god, man! Are you gotta be kidding me? This guy, I can't deal.
That's okay. Trey Lance come out there. I'm telling you, he gonna throw like 30 plus TDs. What was my crazy ass prediction? It was like 4,000 yards, 30 TDs, 40. I might even said 40 TDs. I might have been bugging. Like I said, whoever starts week 1 will
Mhm.
finish the season week 1. That's my thing.
Right. So if Trey Lance starts week 1, he's finishing the season. No
He's
Brock Purdy.
finishing the season.
Brock
That's my
Purdy coming
look.
in.
I'm cool with standing on that ledge
I like
alone, bro.
like it. That's it. That's a bold take. I like it. I think whoever starts week 1 does not finish starter. And
It's not. I don't see why not, bro. I don't see why not.
I hope you're right because I don't want a controversy. But just knowing this team and the way things go, that's all I know with the 49ers in the last several years. That's all I know is quarterback switch up at some point. So
Yeah,
I
but we
really
only seen
right.
quarterbacks switch up Raj because of what?
What's that?
The only reason why we saw quarterback switch ups was because of what?
Majority of the time it's injury. Majority of the time it's injury.
Right. And so, I mean, when you're talking about like switching to Nick Mullins and to CJ
Yeah,
Beathard, that's
that's just
different. And
yeah, yeah, just to yeah,
yeah. But like when there's a starting quarterback, usually is due to an injury and he has no choice but to switch up. Kyle usually rocks with whoever the guy is. I don't think Kyle Shanahan has lost any faith in Trey. I think he just wants Trey Lance to get out there and let the world know what the hell he's got to offer. I just think that's what it comes down to. And then
So you think this whole situation? I'm gonna ask you this question: is this like a motivation tactic? You know how he kind of did it with Brandon Ayuk. He put him in that doghouse. He motivated because Brandon Ayuk, when he spoke about it last year on KMBR, and he came out, talked the whole thing, and he says, "Look, Kyle Shanahan pulled me aside. He told me I'm not even that good of a receiver." He goes, "My whole life, I had coaches, people hyping me up, gassing me up, and says I was elite, I was great. I never was not told I wasn't great. Like he said it straight up. He goes in college." My coach told me I was the best of the best. So, he felt good. Oh, yeah, I'm number one. Kyle said you're not even that good of a receiver. So that messed with him mentally. So what did he have to do to get to be a good receiver? He figured out, okay, I got to go block, no rock. I got to run my routes. I got to get crispy routes. And we know Brandon Ayuk has turned into an amazing route runner. I got to get better off the release and I got to have better hands. And he went and put everything. I got to get stronger. Now he's swole, buff Jack, Ayuk, right? He did all that stuff because Kyle Shanahan told him he's not that good of a receiver. So maybe you're right. Maybe you think this is a motivation tactic for Kyle,
I
right?
believe it's part motivation. I believe Kyle likes his players. I believe this was a Kyle Shanahan pick. I believe a lot of things. And I feel like to not create a big old discourse situation because when you go back to what John Lynch said and then you go back to what Kyle, like John Lynch kind of made it say like, yeah, man, we love Trey, but he's got to get out there on the field. And then John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan comes back and says, yeah, I mean that's partly true, but like, Trey's gonna get a shot. Like he's gonna get his opportunity. Like, you know what I mean? And so like I don't know. But I really feel like he believes in him. I know what Brock Purdy did, and I understand why you would believe in Brock. I believe in Brock shit. I mean,
Yeah,
he came out here and he was electric boogie woogie woogie.
yeah,
Like he was the guy. I believe in him. But right now, he can't do nothing for us right now. So
I
let's
know,
look at the healthy guys. Let's look at the
I know,
guys that can suit up potentially week one. And right now, that's Trey Lance and Sam Darnold.
I know, and I agree with you because we don't know what's up with Brock. We don't know where he's gonna be, and like I said earlier, like can he repeat what he did last year? But all I know, Wayne, is when those videos drop of him throwing, it's gonna be a whole different. We're gonna be like, oh, Brock is back, baby.
Brock is back, bro. Yo, did you see Brock? Oh, did you see that 367-20 Tony Hawk, Mike McGill
Uh,
spin? Like, yeah, we gonna be going crazy.
we're gonna
Listen,
be going.
I love everything that Brock has done for this organization, and you want to talk about like just making you feel happy and special about football again. That's what Brock did. I mean,
Yeah,
Trey Lance, we were excited to see him. He got critiqued heavily week one. Week two, he started to look a little better. He gets injured. Trey's done, right? Jimmy comes in. He looks really good against Seattle. Then he goes out there in the Denver game. And I mean, I was there. He was so terrible. Oh my God. Like
dude, don't
just
mind
like
the
how does a veteran do
pick
does
eight.
this? Oh man, it was bad, Raj. It was bad. And then he picked it up, and then it was just like, oh, they got freaking Christian McCaffrey. He can throw a check down now.
Yeah,
So maybe it was partly personnel because all of a sudden Jimmy developed the check down. Now he still made dumbass mistakes like on zero blitzes, just I'm getting blitzed, I'm just gonna throw it in the air. No, no, that's not what you do. Throw it to the ground. Make an incomplete pass. Live for the next down. So he still did bonehead stuff, but
okay.
um he ended up getting injured in the Miami game, and then Brock came in and he pulled a Jimmy. He came out there and looked electric. I think how many did we put up 40 points in that game?
Yeah, it was a wild game, bro. I remember that game. I was there. It was crazy because the first play of the game was a touchdown from Miami Dolphins. First, it was a strike. Trent Sherfield.
Oh, Trent Sherfield,
Oh,
Raj.
oh
That
shit.
was in at Santa Clara, right?
Yeah, it was in Levi's.
I was trying to find Miss Debbie her damn pins,
Oh,
and I missed it. I heard the crowd cheering, and I'm like, "Oh, we must have did something good." And it must have been a hell of a
it
bunch
was
of Dolphin
great.
fans in there, bro. Cause I
Yo,
I was pissed.
it was wild. Cause yeah, it was a decent amount of Dolphins fans, and I remember first freaking play, Tua drops back, strike, and then Trent Sherfield just, and I'm like, what just happened? I was like, oh god, it's gonna be a long game. And then next drive or two, Jimmy comes out, he gets hurt, and I'm just like, oh, what's going on in this game? And this kid Brock Purdy comes in, he starts playing good, and we start winning, defense balling. And then the Nick Bosa strip sack, Dre Greenlaw picks it up. Like that game, everything went well for us, and Brock was just unfazed. I was like, we might have something here. What the heck?
Kid
Um,
has confidence, bro. That's something you can't teach. You know what I mean? Like either you have it or you don't. He clearly has that. Like
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like that's something that he clearly has. So it's really cool to see this kid like just ooze out confidence. And Trey Lance is a different character, so we'll see what he does. I think he's more of a just be about it than a talk about it type of person. So we'll see. We'll
yeah.
see.
It's
Nick, what's
gonna
going
be
on, bro?
gonna be fun. It's gonna be interesting. And you're right. The big thing with Brock is he's shown that leadership, and I think that's what Trey has to prove, that he's a leader and he can help his team win.
Facts.
Shout out to Nicholas. He says it's another R&B Wednesday. You should be doing the show outdoors, Breezy. Weather here is amazing. Keep killing it. Prediction: Lance never loses the job and starts all year. There you go. He's got the
He's doubling
okay.
down.
You
He's
got it
down.
down.
down. That's
Yeah.
a double
So
down right there,
what's the weather
Raj.
like over there? You where
Bro,
where's
it's like 80 degrees outside, man.
Woo!
At nighttime. He's
Oh,
right. It's nice. We
oh,
got y'all weather,
you
you
got it.
know?
Yeah, I was gonna say that's like our weather right now. You
Yeah.
pulling up with the Cali weather. Wow.
It's beautiful, but I'm not taking my ass outside to get bit. Not tonight.
You got them
Mm-mm.
mosquitoes over there?
Yo, mosquitoes.
Oh,
We got all kind of stuff. I'm good. I'm
oh,
cool.
yeah. I don't like the mosquitoes, man. When I used to mess around down like Texas and stuff where my family's, I just mosquitoes. Back in India when I used to go visit family, like any type there's humid weather, I guess I got some sweet blood because they be all on. Yeah, it's bad.
Oh man. All right, man. Great show. Let's get an R&B song. They want to hear something R&B. I'm trying to think, man.
Go, let's
I
go.
I
Yeah,
can't do no Boys to
guys,
Men
just pick
tonight.
up quick. Okay, so what's your guys' favorite R&B song right now? What song you guys been feeling, or
Right now?
what
Woo!
feeling like right now?
I I can't front that Coco Jones song go hard, bro.
Okay, okay.
That's the girl that I can't think of her government name, but she does play on the Bel Air movie. That's Hillary from Bel Air. But that's an R&B record. That's an R&B record.
Drop a
Y'all,
sample for them folks. Drop a sample for us.
I can't hit them like
Can't hit them.
hands on my body. Oh,
Oh, see
it's
you.
better than that shot so hard. I'm telling you, that song is hard, man.
Okay, okay.
Y'all gotta check it out. Coco Jones.
Coco Jones.
Um, and Niner says I used to think she was hot. Yeah, yeah. Um, I don't. Dave Chappelle is R. Kelly. That was fun. I
Oh,
think the
Dave Chappelle.
funniest Dave Chappelle, Rick James. Ooh, Fire and
Yeah,
Desire. Oh
Rick
my God,
James.
loving you. Oh, that song go hard. Tina Marie, man. R.I.P. Let's see what they got next. Real slow. Oh, what you
Oh,
know about next? Oh, well, you from Jersey. I got you.
that's a
I
good
try
one.
to tell Felicia, I'm trying to put Raj up on that Coco Jones joint. Like that record, that record, that record resonates as R&B to me.
We'll
Like,
check it out. Coco
yeah.
Jones. My man Khalil says "Lately" by Jodeci. Oh,
Oh man, I
that's
can't hit them notes right now, but
ooh, ooh.
I could do the Varnell Hill version though. Joke, and I'm just playing. If you guys are Martin fans out there, that was one of my favorite episodes of Martin, bro.
Oh, that was a good show, man. I still don't know what Tommy ever did. You ever find out what he did for a living? Do you know
No,
what his job is? I never.
no,
I want to find out one day. I don't think we ever will.
I don't think we ever
Show, man.
will. Rest in peace to the actor Tommy
Yeah,
that played Tommy. Yeah, we'll never find out. But I
well,
did watch the Martin reunion on HBO, and it was
yeah, that was good.
really good.
Yeah,
It
that
was
was.
really good. And the guy that played Nipsey that owned the nightclub, he just passed away
Mm,
recently as well. So
damn,
people's are leaving us, man. Damn.
sad thing, man. So many people. You wait. You when you read all the news of who passed away, it's like, damn, man.
Yeah.
Especially if it's someone that you remember watching or whatever.
Growing
So,
up. Yeah.
man.
Speaking of that, man, I definitely want to make sure you guys keep Travarius Mooney Ward
Mm,
and his family and your prayers. His daughter did have a successful open heart surgery. And please keep one of our very own in your prayers. She goes by the name of Jacqueline Knox.
mm.
She just recently lost her sister
Oh,
on yesterday, and she might even be watching the show. So if you're watching the show, we love you. We're praying for you and your family, but please keep her in your prayers as well. It's just tough
yeah.
times, man.
That's tough, man. I'm sorry to hear that. I didn't know that, but prayers
Yeah,
up. Hopefully, if she needs to talk, she can always reach out.
for
I
sure.
know how it is when you lose a loved one. It's not easy. So, prayers out to her. And just like you said, Mooney Ward, he messaged me today because I messaged him yesterday, and he says, yeah, he goes, he's proud of his daughter's resiliency, and
Strong,
he's really happy and proud of all the Niner fans that reached out. So, I told him, got him in my prayers, and
for
that's
sure.
tough, man. Open heart surgery. I was born with a heart condition, so I know how. It's,
Wow.
my mom never wanted me to get it, so I'm still living with the heart condition I had. I didn't have open heart surgery, so scary stuff, man.
Very
Yeah,
scary stuff, man. Great show.
good
We'll be
stuff.
back next week, guys. Hope you guys tune in. Listen, this is fun. Make sure you guys are support us in the discussion.
Yeah,
However you got to do it. We will appreciate you. We love you. We'll show you how much we love you every single day for the rest of y'all lives. Continue doing what you're doing, being great out there. You guys are some of the greatest people that I've met and some that I've never met. And I can't wait to meet more of you guys.
yeah, 100%, man. We got the best fan base in the world, and every time we come here and we talk to them, it's a good conversation. The chat's always live and pop in, and they always add great comments for us. So we appreciate you guys. Thanks for supporting both of us, and we'll see you next Wednesday.
Wait,
Enjoy the
before
rest.
we hit end,
Oh,
I got to ask you this question, Raj.
yo, yo.
Because this is going to be tough because you're a West Coast guy, but I know you listen to hip hop growing up. So,
Oh, I listen to everything.
where do you rank LL Cool J
Ooh.
amongst the greatest rappers of all time? Where do you rank him?
LL's he's a beast, man.
Is
It's
he in
tough.
your top 10?
He's in my top 10 for sure. He's probably in my
He's
top
got to
five.
be, right?
He's top five to me because
LL Cool J got
game,
40 albums, yo.
bro. And
Like,
that's the thing. He was going for like years, and he was changing the game. I don't know, man. He just and not only just his music, it was his fashion and the swag and then the music videos. Because a lot of times back then, hip hop wasn't about the music videos; it's just the rap songs and the music. But he came out, he's a fairly good looking dude. The ladies loved him, so he played on that. He had the swagger dripping on a million. He had the video. LL was the man. I loved LL growing up. I mean, he made a whole trend. Remember the rolled up
yeah,
pant leg, one
yeah.
leg.
The one leg,
Everybody
yeah.
was doing it because of LL.
And then Raj, he got sponsored by Gap, and then he had everybody doing it.
Kangol hat, bro, like
I
everything.
got
He
my Kangol upstairs, bro.
100%, like just for his influence on the culture, and the fashion and everything. He's top five for that, man. And he was a good musical artist. Like his songs, man. Around the way, girl, quit
That's my joint. That's
that.
my joint. Like I know that joint verbatim. I
Yeah,
think that's the one LL Cool J song I know verbatim. It's something about that whole record because that's when they were mixing. That was before hip hop and R&B became like one genre of music, but you actually had like the girl singing on that record. I don't even know who she was. That was back before people got known for features.
yeah.
You
It
know
was
what
like
I'm
he had
saying?
features before people even knew what a hell a feature was. Like
Facts.
Nicholas says, he was the total package, 100%. He could hit you with the aggressive style, freestyle. He could hit you with the slow jam, the R&B jam, bro. I mean, Mama said knock you out when he came out.
But then, if you talk trash about him, he hit you with the diss records. Because
Yeah,
him and
yeah.
Cannabis was one of the dopest battles of all time. 4-5, 4-3-2. Yo, he went hard, yo. Who
Yeah.
won? Like who won that battle? Let's see out there. Who won between Cannabis and LL? Because Cannabis went sick.
He went crazy on him. I still give it to LL, man.
You gave it to L.
Yeah.
That's tough for me, man.
Uh,
Cannabis went sick.
Cold blooded though. You're right. He came with the bars, but nah, man.
See,
LL was he was a guy. I think Peachy said it. He was a pioneer. That's the
he was a
best way to
pioneer.
put it. He was one of the founding fathers. Like if you got a Mount Rushmore, he's on there to me.
I got you. I could dig it.
Yeah.
I could dig it. All right, so next week we'll create our Mount Rushmores
Ooh.
of the hip hop. We'll have that ready, and we
Oh,
won't talk
that.
about it. So you guys can get y'all 4. Roz will get his 4. I'll
Oh,
have my 4, and
oh,
this is gonna be enter mother freaking resting, yo.
oh, that's gonna be crazy,
Now
yo.
here's the thing. They have to have, because it's an R&B show. They have to have at least one song that has R&B in it.
Oh, wow.
So I
Okay.
don't know. I know Cat's gonna be like KRS-One. I don't know. I don't know what he got with singing in it.
Drizzy Drake might be on that Mount Rushmore.
Drake should be on the Mount Rushmore.
He
Yo.
might be. If we're talking about a guy that has R&B,
He
R&B
has to have an
catalog.
R&B record to it.
Ooh.
I
Oh,
got my 4. I'm Gucci.
all right. This is gonna be good. This is gonna be
So it's
good.
hip hop R&B. I
Yeah.
got a guy that y'all gonna be like, why is he on there? Because he ran the game for like several years till he got locked up. We'll save that for next week though. I'm so excited.
I'm hyped up for this. All right. Well, look forward to that next week, next Wednesday. Stay locked in, stay tuned. Hopefully, I'm not late next week, but
It's
you know
all good.
how it goes,
We're
man.
flexible when I'm home, bro. We got
Yeah, no doubt. It's nice that to have that flexibility. So I appreciate you for allowing me to be a little late, but I'll try to be on time next week. Peace out, everybody. Y'all have a good one.